Hello. Hi, I'm Bumbleborn. I go by... Hi, I'm Joe, but I go by Bumbleborn on the World Wide Web, and I make video games. And I started this YouTube channel a while ago, about 2 years ago, with the aim to build a YouTube channel and talk about my video games. To hold myself accountable. And, well, you can tell from the amount of videos that I've put out, I didn't do that. Not really. So there's a bunch of reasons why, but I'll go over kind of what's gone on since making the channel. So I made the channel to talk about video games, to talk about my first video game that I was going to release by the time I was 30 years old. And I did not release it by the time I was 30. It was about 3 months after. And I thought it was good. No, I didn't. I thought it was terrible. I cut loads of content. I wanted it to be a certain thing. But I thought like the gameplay felt nice. But then it really clicked with a lot of people, and it sold enough for me to quit my job, which was great. It won 2 awards, Best Adventure Game and Game of the Year on the Playdate 2024. God, I haven't released a game in ages now. And I was happy, but at the same time, I shouldn't complain about any of this, obviously. It was an amazing thing that happened, but I did realise that even with the greatest amount of proof that I know how to make video games, I've got a bit of a broken brain. I still don't really believe it. And what my brain told me from this is that sorry, my cat just meowed. We have cats now. That's something that's new since starting the channel. So since that point, releasing it, I expected myself to believe that I could make video games. And instead my brain says, oh, well, now you'll never make something as good as Echo the Oracle's Scroll, which was not a good thing for my brain to tell me. And it turns out, I mean, I've always known it, I didn't know it was that severe, but I have imposter syndrome, which is obviously something lots of people have in the creative arts, games industry especially. I have it. By the way, if you don't know what imposter syndrome is, that's where your body is projected onto like a 2D quad, and then you're rendered many times in the distance, and it's good for performance and stability. No, that's a tech art joke. Never mind. It's just you don't think you are what you say you are, obviously. And then it makes this whole thing here very awkward. So like 18 months ago, I think it was now, that I won the award. Or Echo did. I didn't win. Echo did. I was like, great, I'll make a YouTube video about this. This is good content. This is a solid topic to talk about, right? And then I wrote a script for it, and that's part of why this video is, sorry, it's going to be a bit of a waffle. It's not scripted, because every time I wrote the script, I've rewritten it about 8-9 times over the course of the last year and a half, because I just can't. It just feels immediately inauthentic. Like, it just feels like, even though that's the point of the channel, is to try and build up a community and essentially market my games. As soon as I start feeling like I'm marketing the games that I'm working on, it just feels gross. And I know it's not. I get it. And I know, just in this day and age, in this industry now, and the context that we're in, more than ever, we have to shout about our video games and our art and get it out there. Yeah. So this video is supposed to be a bit of a creative reset. I'm hoping that if I can lower the pressure off myself to make a good video, and I just make a video, then I'll at least start talking about my games. Super long waffle, very much a lot of ado there. I don't like doing I wanted to be without further ado, let's talk about it, and then I just did so much ado. So Echo released, it did well, won awards. After it kind of plateaued, and I was like, okay, I'm working on my next game, I started I mean, lots of things happened, right? So we got cats, Miso and Mush. They're I'll put images and videos here. They're adorable. I love them to bits. They've added vet bills to the outgoings, which is not great, but I love them. It was super worth it. Also, like I said earlier, I quit my job. The February after it released, so about 5-6 months after it launched, the money I had in savings, which was about, if I'm remembering correctly, about $8,000, could have been 7 or 6. I can't remember. But Echo added, I'll put actual stats on the screen now just so it's actually specific, but like 18k, I think, over the last 2 years, it's added to that. So that's given me like, what, 24k, which is like just above minimum wage. And I've managed to live off that for like since last February. Not the February just gone, February 2025, which is great. Like, I've had a great time, but I've also had like this feeling of like, I need to make more money at some point or else I'll die. I don't know if you can say die in a YouTube video where it gets flagged, or else I'll go on unlived. I'll stop being alive. I won't be able to buy food. You need food. So I started working on loads of other little games. The obvious game to make is a port of Echo the Oracle Scroll to Steam, which I am doing, but the trouble is, in my head, I want it to be very worth it, so I feel like I need to be able to put lots of time into it. I've made it look really cool. I started remaking the game. I remade the game in Unity. I've got it like half remade. Echo the Oracle Scroll DX, it'll be a deluxe version, will come out at some point. I don't know when, because again, I want to make it really, really good. I want to restore a bunch of the content that I cut, but to do that, I feel like I also need to add that content to the Playdate version. And the Playdate version is pretty much like, it's not maxed out, but I had to do a lot to optimize it and make it run. So refiddling with the code base and adding more content in, whilst people already have loads of save files and like 100% save files, it does give me a bit of nausea to contemplate doing. So maybe I won't add more content and just add a few new features like accessibility things, or like a simple story mode that's less punishing. The next game would obviously be a sequel to Echo, which I'll talk about that in a bit actually. So the other project that I've worked on is I wanted to make a super simple deck builder, because I wanted to learn how to make stats and skills, right? I want to make an RPG, like a Diablo style game, or even an Oblivion style game at some point in the way future. And I've never done, so I've gotten pretty good, I think, at making exploration based games and platforming. I can make something feel good, and I can level design. I know how to do level design. But the stats and skill stuff, spreadsheet stuff, it's all nonsense to me. Like, numbers going together. I like playing games that have numbers that go together and feel compelling, but I've never done it. I've never even prototyped anything like it. I always was just addicted to learning game feel and juice, but now I feel like I've got that solid. I really wanted to learn stats and skills, and I thought a really simple way to do that would be to make a deck builder. Now, deck builders, I love them to bits, but I do understand that if you're making a deck builder, especially as I'm going to go into it, like a horror-y one in the year of 2026, it can be a bit cringe. I think a lot of people feel that way. I didn't know that that's what I was making, really. I fell into it, kind of. But I really like the game, so it's tricky. Like, I understand a lot of people feeling like it's not my kind of game. If I see another Slay the Spire-esque progression map, then I'll destroy my hard drive. But you can only make what compels you, right? And the game is good. Like, I go through that thing where I don't believe it, but people have said it's really good. You know what? I haven't even said what it's called. I'm very silly. It's called Wunder, the double-sided deck builder. It's 20% off on Steam right now. It's in early access. It's a double-sided deck builder. So you flip coins. Every card in your deck is a coin, and that means it's got a heads and a tails. So depending on how they flip, you get different effects and different abilities happen. And it's similar to Balatro in that you're trying to hit a target score, and then you logical operators, numbers, they go together, they feel cool, they have elements, they have loads of different mechanics. Everything's inspired by Greek mythology because it's set in the underworld. You're going through Hades. Yeah, it's a solid game. Please do check it out. I'm gonna I'll do a let's play of it, I think, because I think that would be a solid way to show how compelling the game is. And it's supposed to be small. It's only supposed to be something that you just throw a few hours at, but it's got the potential to like go for 150 hours by the end of by 1.0. One of the other games that I'm working on is essentially a sequel, but it might be a prequel to Echo the Oracle Scroll. So I've got this vision for it, for the whole series of games, and it's going to involve redoing all the art that's currently in Echo's Climb and probably retitling it, because the whole series is going to be like Zelda, essentially. It's got prequel right at the beginning, Echo the Oracle Scroll sets up the adventure, but I also want to do it with like sort of pretend these games are from a different game studio that started in the 80s or 90s. So the first game, Echo the Oracle Scroll, is 1-bit. The second game, Echo Comet Coast, will be a farming adventure game. Kickstarter link in the bio, in the comment and down. And I'm so excited to work on that because it's Link's Awakening meets Stardew Valley. So there'll be dungeons. Those dungeons you'll have to get into in different seasons. You'll have a farm. There's going to be lots and lots of cool stuff. There's a demo of it that I made for a game jam last year, maybe the year before, maybe 2024. Did really well. It came like 10th in the jam out of like 1,000 games, or like 980 something. And so people really liked it back then. And the idea for that is it's going to be a Game Boy Color game. So it's very Game Boy Color inspired, similar to like Mina the Hollower that just came out. That is a fantastic game, by the way. And then Echo the Quiet Climb, or Echo's Climb, whatever I end up calling it, that will be a PlayStation X, PlayStation 1 style video game. And I don't want to say too much, other than it's going to be what is in the demo at the minute, Echo's Climb. It's going to be a platforming adventure, 3D Metroidvania, and there'll be other stuff in there that I'm very, very excited about, that I feel like in the past I was like, I can't make a game that big, but now I'm like, I'm going to be doing this for like 40 years. I'll do it. And then Echo 4 will be similar to Wind Waker, and that one's going to be where you traverse like a sea of sand. And can't wait. That's going to be sick. Yeah. Other little games that I'm working on that I've been working on over the last I think I started 5 different games. I won't talk about all of them, but 2 of them I will. I want to make a little tiny Diablo-Like for the Playdate, which will be my second Playdate game. But I really, really want to use it to get good at like grimdark concept art and like grimdark horror type of vibes, I guess. And that's part of the reason that I'm making Wunder as well, is to learn RPG stats and skills that go into that. And then the other one that I really need to get off Unity, because Unity is a terrible company. Just absolutely. Maybe there's good in there. There's loads of people working there that are great, but the business side of them do make terrible decisions, for sure. So I want to learn Godot, and I eventually want to make my own little 2D framework engine thing. But learning Godot, I have one little app that I'm making, which is dumb. I won't even talk about it, but I may be at some point. But the actual game that I'm making for it is called Steel Somnia. It's super simple. It's just Final Fantasy IX, but with one character to make it super simple. And I've made like the overworld layer, and this is just something I'm working on like weekends to like relax, because I do 5 days on Wunder, then I do the weekend, and then whatever events that I'm taking Wunder to, or like things that I need to do. At the minute, I'm working on the next update for Wunder, which is going to be 0.4, and can't wait. It's going to have consumables, and it's going to be very fun. But yeah, I'm very excited about Godot. It does seem like a really nice, elegant engine to use. That's kind of been my last year and a bit, 2 years, and I believe that if I do keep doing this, eventually it'll be profitable. Right now, it is very much not. It's a tricky one. I'll probably talk about it more in another video at some point when Mush isn't meowing loads. It's hard working in the games industry now. A third of the industry is gone from like 2022 or 2023. A third of the people that worked in the industry aren't working in the industry anymore. That's really, really sad. It's heartbreaking, and I don't know how much of a future this industry has, at least in the current context of what it is. I think there'll be fewer games, and there'll be fewer games actually making profit. And I'm unfortunately in this situation now where I thought if I just made another game that was pretty good, it would sell like a few hundred copies a month, and I would be solid. But Wunder's come out and sold, I think it's like 340, which is completely fair. But it's I was hoping for 200 to 400. I think 200 to 400 copies a month is what I would need to like have bare necessities, and I was pretty confident that it would do that, but it hasn't, which is interesting, but also terrifying. And we'll see. I think it's got legs. I think at some point it'll grow. It's just going to take like a streamer or video game person to notice it and talk about it, because it's a $5, and it's a great little deck builder. You know, there's the chance that people might just be done with deck builders. That's very possible. But yeah, at the minute I'm feeling very much like another statistic in the flow of video games and in the industry. Sorry, I'm sweating so much, by the way. It's the UK and it's horribly hot right now. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I think the game will grow, and by 1.0, I think it will be pretty solid. Like, the stuff I've got planned for it, I think is very, very, very fun. What's already there is a very engaging game if you like those kind of mathy games. And if it never does well, then I'll finish it, obviously, and then move on to the next game. And then I'll just have to get some contract work between now and then. And that's fine. That'll be fine. But yeah, I want to try to make more YouTube videos that are a bit more like this, which I hope this didn't sound sad. I don't want it to be. I really, really like, there's a few game developers like Tom Francis, who made like Gunpoint, Heat Signature, and Tactical Breach Wizards. Fantastic dev, really, really, really cool. And he does a lot of videos like this where he just talks to the camera. And I've always found them very compelling, but in the back of my head, I'm always like, if I'm making a YouTube channel video though, I want to have pizzazz and all of this stuff. But if I do that, that's less time I can put into making video games, and I don't necessarily want to be a YouTuber. I want to be a game dev, you know, and I want to be a game dev YouTuber. And a game dev devs games. A YouTuber tubes you? No, they don't do it. No, a game dev YouTuber sometimes ends up in this thing where they just make YouTube videos about making games. And that was always a fear of starting this channel, was, am I just going to do that and then never release video games again? So I ended up not making more videos on the Echo devlog because of that. I want to try and fix that. and I'm going to try and figure it out. And then I'll make better videos than this. I don't have more to say. Bye. I do actually have one more thing to say. Thanks for watching this video. I'm really bad at this, and I'll get better. I swear. Thank you. And have a good day, or night, or twilight period, or dusk or dawn, whenever it is. Just, yeah. Okay, bye. Yeah.